All right, all right, all right. It's Tuesday, and we're here again for our Healthy Trinity Show. Everybody, welcome. Um, how's your Tuesday going? How is your Transformation Tuesday? How's your Taco Tuesday go? Whatever you want to call it. How's it going? It's going well? Good. I hope so. Okay. So, as we do this show is all about talking about transformations and how that has affected our healthy body or given us healthier body, healthier mind, healthier finances. So, and we have guests on here who really have exemplified those characteristics of improving their bodies, their minds, and their finances through our program. So thank you for joining. Now, as you come in, I would love everybody to give a hello, drop a comment in the chat, how you're doing, where you're coming in from. And as always, if you have questions, if you have comments, anything, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And, if you want to give a shout out to our guest, who is one of these amazing stories, go ahead, man. Just tell her how awesome she is, because I think she's pretty awesome. So our guest today is Jazmine Rivera. She is an incredible young lady who has, as I said in the promo for this, is a story really of just grit and determination, perseverance, and never giving up on yourself. To know that there's a way back from things where you just feel either you're at the end of your rope or you literally feel yourself just slipping away, and however that means for you, but just literally you're not yourself anymore. That it's never the end of the line for you. There's always a way back. We just have to have enough grit to come through that. Okay. So again, I said her name is Jazmine Rivera. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little clip of Jazmine's transformation, and then we're going to bring her on. So Jazmine, here you go. Well, here she is, everybody. This is the one and only Jazmine Rivera. Thanks, Jazmine, for coming on today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. This is an honor. It's an honor to have you on. I've met you a few times, and after hearing your story, I was like, yeah, she needs to come on the show. People need to hear her, because that is one of the, when you hear a story and it just gets you right in the feels, right in the feels.
Oh.
That was one of the stories where I was like, my God, wow, that just, yeah, that got to me. So again, thank you for coming on. So yeah, if anybody has any questions for Jazmine, or any, go get them, girl, whatever, don't be afraid. Just drop it in the chat. That'd be awesome. So Jazmine, here's the thing: is when we talk about Transformation Tuesday, normally what people will see is or think about is, oh my gosh, somebody who's lost a lot of weight, somebody who's just completely like, you don't look like who you used to look. And transformation isn't always an outward appearance. A lot of times it's your inward as well. And I know that you, what's the total weight that you actually have lost?
26 pounds.
Yeah, 26 pounds. And that is amazing. And for some people, they're 26 pounds, big deal. But really, a lot of it too is the inner work that you've done. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the inner work that you've done. And that's what I want to highlight, is the transformations aren't always just physically on the outside. A lot of it is on the inside. So can you kind of illuminate your story for us, and just kind of tell us kind of where you were, where you've been, where you are now, and give us the details on it.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess a year and a half ago, I made a huge move to Mid-America, Oklahoma. I transferred universities, and I decided to attend Oklahoma State University. I knew one person when I moved there, and that was my significant other at the time. Um, it was in the midst of COVID, so all of that craziness was going on. And I thought I had very little when I moved there, but I very quickly realized that there was much farther to fall. I ended up dropping out of school, unfortunately, because I was working way more than I was in class to pay for class, which is kind of funny, but that's the way the world turns sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I ended up, on my own, without a home for a little bit.
Wow.
Thankfully, I was able to, find my own little place, my own little piece of the world, I like to call it, whenever I have my own little place. Um, and I ended up in a really dark place, to be quite honest with you. I gave up on myself. I really didn't want anything from life anymore. I really thought my only purpose was to pay rent and show up to work on time. I would get up at 4 in the morning, go to my McDonald's shift. I would come home, change, put my Texas Roadhouse uniform on, and then I would go door dashing after work.
Wow.
And that was just a cycle. I ended up transitioning to a medical job where, I worked your 9 to 5, and I thought that was like awesome. Like, this is like, I haven't made, like, I could really do this till I died if I wanted to. I had gained so much weight since I graduated high school. I had always been very active. I was a dancer, I was a soccer player, and for the first time ever, I had to go shopping for clothes that was bigger because my wardrobe didn't fit me anymore, and that was super, super embarrassing for me. I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror anymore, and I just slipped further, further, further down. There were
Yeah.
days where all I could do was eat, and others, I could go 2 or 3 days without eating. Just, it was pretty bad. And then Miss Alex Corona, who is my coach, came into my life. She peeped her head in, and she had been dropping little nuggets, and I'd been ignoring her, like, I don't know what she's trying to give to me. I had seen her transformation on my social media. She came up out of nowhere. And I was feeling like trash at the time. So I blocked her. I didn't want to see that on my story because I felt terrible about myself.
Oh my gosh, I know that so much too. I know that people aren't watching it because they've blocked me, but a lot of my friends have blocked me too. Anyway.
But I love her, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
And she had brought it up to me, program, it's going to change your life. And I'm like, this is my life. It's nothing. And I had accepted that point in my life. And to be honest with you, Alex happened to send me a text at the perfect time and place because I was on the floor. I had given up. I was living breath to breath, not even day to day, week to week, month to month. It was breath to breath. And she happened to send me the perfect text at the right time. And I made the decision to join that day. And if she hadn't sent that text, I honestly don't know if I would be here right now.
Really?
But
what was that text? What was that text? Can you share that with us?
It was, hey, I was thinking about you. Have you given any more thought to coaching, to program? And I was like, you know what? There's hope in this message right now. And I was looking for something, anything, because that deep, dark hole that I really don't like to talk about or visit, it was bad. Yeah. And I don't know why that message, there was something about it that I was like, you know what? Talk to me about it, because I need something, because whatever I'm doing is not working.
Yeah.
Because I thought I had it, I was good. Like, I can go to the gym, I can whatever, go to the doctor and get some meds and I'll be good. And that's what I was doing, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working. I was lost. I looked in the mirror and I didn't even know who I was anymore. Like, I look back at videos and I'm like, I don't even recognize the person speaking. And it's so, like, breaks my heart. I break my own heart when I go back and watch those videos or look at those pictures.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say with my entire being that doing this program, I may have only lost 26 pounds in my body. It feels great, but I lost an endless amount of weight up here. And I'm all the better for it. And I try to tell people, it's not just a weight loss program. It's not. It's just not.
It's true. It's true. People will only see kind of like what I just talked about with when they think of transformation, they only think of the weight physically. They don't think of the mental weight that you shed. Now, speaking of that, what's funny, Jazmine, is the first time I heard your story, what came to mind was, if you think of your journey, it started off of, I'm going to move halfway across the country, go to a new school. You had big dreams, big hopes. You were going to do a whole bunch of things in this world. And then every little thing that happened, your dreams got smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you were living to pay rent and to eat food. That was your existence, as you said. So starting this program helped you take your view and bring it back open.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alex invited me out to convention, and that was a big eye-opener as well to the possibilities, and that I had the right to dream still, despite all the adversity and that I had experienced up to that point, and the community that I was like opened to changed everything for me. And I ended up selling everything I had in Oklahoma and made the move to California to be surrounded by this community. Wow. And it's insane to me because sometimes it's even hard for me to grasp, and I have to remember. But I like you said, I just needed to keep paying rent in my little 400 square foot apartment, right? And now, I'm looking forward to, purchasing land in the near future. And it's like what?
What? No way. That's great. Your dreams have opened back up. And the thing is if we let ourselves start to crush our own dreams, or if we let extraneous circumstances stomp on our dreams, they will shrink and shrink and shrink until they die.
And it's important to know too is that those extraneous circumstances aren't going anywhere.
Right.
You have to fortify your mindset, and you have to work at it daily. And it's not like oh yay, it's mindset work time, like it's gonna be great. Sometimes it's ugly and it's painful and it sucks, but it's that work that helps you grow. That place, I always tell people, that place where you don't want to look, that's where you gotta look. That's where you have to look. That's where you have to look.
That's where you have to look. That's where you're gonna find the answers. So then talk to me then a little bit about what did you do differently to go from that mindset of being in that dark place to starting this program? Of course, okay, look, we're really just skipping over the fact you lost 26 pounds on the program because that's the predictable stuff. I don't want to talk about that, okay? That's not why I brought you on. 26 pounds. Well, you're little to begin with. 26 pounds for you versus somebody else that, has, it's all relative is what I'm saying. It's just as difficult for them to lose weight as you to lose weight. Okay. What I'm saying is this in here. Okay.
Oh
That
my
mind, that
goodness.
healthier mind is what I want to focus on with you. So what did you do different to start getting out of that health? What did you learn from this program is what I'm asking. That's what I want to get to. That's what the question I want. What did you learn from this program, and how did you put that in place to start getting out of that dark mindset to
Well,
get to a better place?
it's all about habits, and that's like the over like habits everywhere. Like if you were to put it in like a neon sign,
Yeah.
and like you said, the predictability. It started with what I was putting into my body, and so the nutritional aspect.
Mm-hmm.
The fuelings, the eating every 6 hours. That's where it started, and because I had terrible habits.
Yeah.
I was, like I said, binging, not eating. Substances, just trying to escape from,
Mm-hmm.
my reality.
Yeah.
And once I was able to solidify that, that weight came off. It was predictable. Alex told me it was going to happen. It's going to come off. But once I was able to solidify that, I could now take my attention away from what I was eating or not eating and now focus it on my mindset.
Mm.
So, what I was feeding my brain, like I started reading again. I probably hadn't picked up a book, since I had stopped going to school. Um,
Yeah,
and
those books.
so I know, like, I really was not, when I was younger, I was a reader, but like through my more adult like schooling, I was like, no, but there's so much value. Um, I don't know. I think it was Will Smith he was like, there's two important things. You need to like read and you need to run, because like all the
Mm.
problems that you're experiencing, somebody's probably experienced them and written a book about it. So
Right.
so reading has had introducing reading back into my routine was very helpful.
Okay.
But also understanding the importance of self-care. So habits, of drinking water, getting sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So that meant, saying no to the partying, up late, drinking all the time. Um, start saying no to that. Surrounding yourself with an environment that was supportive. That made an incredible difference because you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Right.
And I was spending my time around people who really didn't support and care about me.
Mm.
And I had to realize that really quickly. So that changed the game for me as well. Um, what else can I say? Just a culmination of all of these different things. I didn't change everything all at once, but
Yeah.
once they were all stacked together, then like it all started to click. And don't get me wrong, I'm still on my journey now, but all the fatigue, the energy loss, the weight that I had put on, they were all symptoms of the mismanaged emotions that I had going on.
Oh.
And
Okay.
that's what I'd like to tell people is like a lot of times like this weight and this terrible feeling that we have in us is just a symptom of like not taking care of up here. So we got to get
Mm.
to up here and the other problems will start to make a little bit more sense. At least it did for me.
Yeah. So how do we manage if we're mismanaging? How do we identify that we're mismanaging our emotions, and then how did you get them back on track?
Well, I had to sit down and I had to be real with myself. Um, what I guess my triggers were, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
What what I reacted to, what makes me angry, what makes me sad. I had to recognize when I was those things.
Mm-hmm.
How I dealt with conflict, I didn't. I just ran and hid from it.
Yeah.
And I could literally disappear when it came to like being confronted. Um, with the difficult problems in my life, even when it came to like finances, like there was a student loan I had for a little while that I just completely ignored. It didn't exist.
Hmm. Didn't go
Um,
away, did it?
and it didn't go away, no, and neither did
Dang
the
it.
problems I had with the important relationships in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I had to sit down and first of all identify why. And so that is a lot of deep work that I think a lot of people don't want to sit with because it's ugly and you
Yep.
don't know what you're going to find there.
Yeah. A lot of it is dirty. A lot of it is ugly. A lot of it is messy. And we don't want to deal with the messy, right? We want to stay clean, clean appearance, clean, whatever it is. Even if we're just putting on the smile or putting on a fake, happiness, it's easier to do that than it is to actually sit down and face it. So you basically sat down and made a budget for your life.
Pretty much.
That's what you did.
Absolutely. Like in my notebooks, you can look and it's just like, what makes you angry? Why does it make you angry? What do you do when it comes to these difficult situations? When it comes to confrontation in relationships, what do you do?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Why do we do the things we do? Writing it down, and I will stress this to a lot of people, and I know you'll echo this sentiment, is we have to write these things down. Write out the questions. Write out the answers. Don't just lay in bed and think, why am I the way I am? I don't know, just cause. Like, we're not going to get real answers, but if we sit down and we're writing this out,
It becomes real.
it becomes real. Exactly.
You now get to sit, and observe. Like if you were to watch somebody else, you're watching yourself. You get that opportunity to sit down, and if you're like feeling a certain way, write it down, and then when you're done, sit back and look at it.
Yep. And then you can revisit it later on when either you've overcome that or you feel yourself slipping back.
Yes.
Let me go back when I was feeling it this way. Oh, that's what I did to get out of this. Do it again.
Do it again.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's Sabrina here has a comment. She says, so many lessons, we're open to growth and seeing where we need to stop the same cycles and make changes. Way to go, Jazmine.
Oh, thank you.
So stopping the cycles is what's important. And, I think the biggest takeaway from what you said was awareness of those, right?
You have to become aware. When you write it down, it becomes real, because I lived in my head for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really easy to disappear there, for things to, like I said, to just ignore things and forget things. But when you write it down, you hold yourself accountable for those things.
Yeah. We remind ourselves what we want out of life. Absolutely. Not just what we don't want. I know on this show before we talked about not operating out of fear anymore. We don't just remember what we don't want to do or don't want to become, but we do remember what we can become and what we want to become. That's our goal. It's opportunity that we grow towards, not we don't grow away from fear. That's not the motivator. Yeah. So now that you've learned healthier habits, you've learned healthier ways to deal with your emotional triggers, managing emotions that are healthier, where has that taken you in life? You said you started coaching. So how does that become now beneficial for you in your journey?
Oh my goodness. First of all, let me say I did not want to coach. I dodged it, not like blatantly, like I'm not going to do it, but I kind of like ignored it. Like, no, like I am not capable of like guiding other people. I can barely guide myself.
Nice.
But the crazy thing about it is when I then took on the responsibility of other people's journeys, well, first of all, let me start by saying is by sitting down and just kind of thinking about why I wanted to do this. And it's like, well, this helped me get out of this hell that I was living in. And now I have the opportunity to pay that forward and maybe help somebody who was feeling the exact same way I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that to me, like, I just couldn't let that go because, literally down to the last second, you know what I mean? Like I could be that hope that somebody has been praying for, all of this time. So, you know what I said? The effort factor, let's do it.
Screw it. Go ahead. Let's start. Let's do it. So when you started because I know you said you had a lot of anxiety. That's a lot to take on. I don't want to be responsible for anybody else. When you started helping people with their journeys, how did that come about? Did you feel capable once you started helping? Did you realize, okay, people are just like me? There's nothing to worry about. Like, how did that go for you?
I think at first I was still, had a lot of anxiety, but once I started, having these conversations with people, just like you said, there's not that big of a difference between us. We're just
Mm-hmm.
at different places in our journey. Um, and it almost, helped me hold myself even more accountable for my own,
Yeah.
because now there's people watching me.
Yeah.
You know, because they're trying to get out of their hell too. So I have to, make sure I'm still taking care of myself. And so that was what was great about coaching too, is that it held me even more accountable for my own journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's wonderful to be able to be in a position to be able to guide people toward everything they've ever wanted or didn't even know they want.
This is true sometimes. And what's funny is I had a conversation with somebody over when you were talking about convention at the white party we went to. I was sitting down talking to somebody, and this person wasn't a coach. They were just a friend, somebody that brought, and they asked about their why. And they said, do you discover your why, or do you create a why?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Your
Um,
why, your reason for doing this, your motivations, do you discover them or do you create them?
I
What do
think
you think?
both. I think at first, especially starting off coaching or even program, you're asked, why are you doing this? Why are you here? Why do you want to make a change? And at first I can look like, I just want to lose, I just want to lose 26 pounds, or, I just want to, you know, something simple like that. I want to go to the gym more, or whatever it may be. And then
Yeah.
as, you start seeing these little changes, more becomes like you can reach more.
Yeah.
Like you have the ability to do more, and you start discovering what you really want.
Mm.
And so it wasn't that I just wanted to lose 26 pounds. I, want to stop putting myself in this vicious cycle of self-hate and pushing, the relationships that are important to me in my life away. I want to be, self-sustainable. I'm not a plant, but a self-sufficient, to not ever have to worry about paying a bill on time. I'm tired of working for other people's dreams. I'd like to have my own. Stop
Yeah.
asking permission to have dreams of my own,
Yeah.
no matter how crazy. I had this dream when I was younger. I wanted to be a Broadway performer, and I gave that. I know that's crazy. I gave
No.
that up, and I look back and that was so sad. I gave it up because of these external factors. And I was asking permission from other people to want
Yeah.
to achieve these dreams, and I didn't stop to ask myself, what do I want?
Mm.
And so as I went further in my journey, I was in a place where I was able to ask myself, what do I want? Honestly, outside the constrictions of like, what is realistic? Do I have, the time? Do I have the money? If you could snap your fingers right now and have exactly what you wanted, what would that look like? And so I got to explore that. I'm in a place where I can explore that now, and it's amazing. Like I said, like I want to buy land and build a house. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's not just like this dream that's floating out there, I want to do that within the next 5 years.
You're going to grab it and take it.
Yeah, it's not just floating in your head anymore. It's real.
Listen to this comment right here we just got from Sabrina. She's got a lot of good comments. Stop sleeping through your dreams and go live them. So
Exactly.
true. And, going back to that question of do you create your why or do you discover them? And I loved your answers, both of them, because I feel a lot of the same thing is Our goals in life change based on our situation. Your goal in life a few years ago was to pay rent and money and, I mean, eat, and that was it, right? You even dropped out of school because that's what you needed to do. That was your dream. So your why was to get out of that situation. And now that you created a new why, which was, I want to buy some land. And then maybe when you have your land, you're going to create or rediscover that why of, you know what, I still am going to become a Broadway performer. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make that happen. I mean, why not,
Why
right? You
not? Yeah.
don't need permission to dream big, and live your dreams. So to me, that is that really embraces how we even start off with in this program, right? We start off with that small why of what do you want to do, what do you want to accomplish, and then it just grows and changes. And again, your dreams will go, because the societal pressures, crush our dreams. And now we've unlocked it and we're able to come back out and say, I have these huge dreams that I can accomplish because I put structure in my life, because I don't need to worry about thinking about simple things like what's healthy for my body. I do that on my own. I'm freeing myself to start doing other things
Yeah,
that
for
is going to
sure.
better me,
A
right?
lot of people resist it, like, no, but like you said, it's so freeing because you don't have to, all that energy you can guide
You
towards
divert it.
like
You don't
these
have to
bigger
think
things
about
that
it.
you want. Yeah.
Those are now habits, right? Our choices become our routines, and then once that routine becomes a habit, that becomes our identity, and we don't think about it. It is just an automatic response of what we do. We go to the kitchen, we're going to make breakfast. Okay, fine. We chop up some mushrooms and bell pepper and we egg whites, and like, oh, before you know it, you're not going and getting, pouring a bowl of Fruit Loops anymore, or going to McDonald's and getting, big breakfast. You're eating healthy. You're not even thinking about it. That's autonomy. You're going with it. Next, you can, divert that energy to something else. So that is the idea of establishing habits to become our identity. So going along with that, though, Jazmine, I want to touch on the last thing here is your dreams are going to be fueled by, rediscovering your passions, things like that. How has coaching helped you with dreams like you want to buy land now? You went from working 3 jobs to just pay rent, and now you're talking about buying land. Has coaching assisted you in a bit of that?
Oh, absolutely. Healthy finances, is also, that's something that you need in your life to be, um, satisfied is a good word. It helped me kind of, I'm sorry, I'm lost for words. Kind of build your life around what's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was very irresponsible with my money.
Yeah.
I won't even lie about that. And program helped me realize what was important to me. So I learned how to manage my finances, creating a savings account, paying off, credit card debt,
Yeah.
put funneling all your money, into, yeah, those loans, like I said, the credit card, so that you can now start building on the things that you want. So once you figure out what you want, now you got to figure out how to get there. And one of those steps is to figure out your finances. So figuring that out actually makes a big difference. All the time, I was like, I'm not broke. No, I don't have money for this. I don't have money for that. But, I was eating out 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm. That's
Um,
the truth. And it literally does start with being able to put just structure in your life to say what's most important to me. And when we apply that to things like finances, and the reason I make finances such a huge deal is because I really admire dreams and I love people reaching for their dreams, but a lot of times your dreams aren't free. And
no.
no one's going to sell you land, Jazmine, because you're cute. No one's going to sell it to you because you have a nice smile, or, that doesn't work.
It'd
Right?
be
We need to
nice.
be able to finance that stuff.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's the important thing when it comes to, putting structure and priority in your life. Um, We got a comment here from Davina. She says, this program helped me to wake up my financial unhealth. I did not realize how important it was. And it's so true. We don't realize it until we realize it.
Yeah, for sure.
Boom.
Like, no, you don't have to spend every dollar at your paycheck before the next one comes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the best thing about it too is when we're helping people, when we're coaching them, you are getting compensated for that. And that's extra money that we just didn't have before. And now we have those structures in our life to be able to use that money wisely. And it helps us do like things like pay off credit cards and save money. Win-win right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, it's awesome that, you are compensated for, helping somebody get out of the worst place in their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Like how many people get to say that, they do that for a living?
Yeah. Not too many. So, last little thing I'm going to throw out there. Okay, somebody who's watching this is on the fence and they're not quite sure if this is what they want to do. Give them one small bit of advice.
If somebody in your life has been reaching out to you, bugging you, you've been seeing somebody on your timeline talking about this thing that has revolutionized their life, time is non-refundable. Use it with intention.
Ooh. Intention. Do you write that down, everybody? Say that again, Jazmine. Say that last bit.
So you'll wait. No, next year, next month, next whatever. I'm busy. There will come a time when there is no more time.
There will come a time when there is no time. Write that down, everybody. Put that in the chat. There will come a time when there is no time. Use your time with intention. Wow, that's a good one. Everybody watch this on replay again, or put that in. You know what? I'm going to challenge everybody who's watching right now. Put that as a post. Put that as a post on your profile. Use your time with intention. There's going to come a time when there is no time. I challenge you. That's a good one, Jazmine. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
All right, Jazmine. Thank you so much for everything that you've poured into everybody watching and everybody that's going to watch this on replay. For those of you who are watching, you got something from this, you can always reach out to me. You can always reach out to Jazmine or any of our wonderful coaches that we've had on here. We'd love to talk to you and hear about everything you want to dream about and all your goals and how we're going to get there. So share this on your page. Tag your friend in some of the comments, in one of the comments here in the chat. And I want everybody to have a great week. Okay. All right. Take care, everybody. And we'll see you next Tuesday for our next Transformation Tuesday. Take care.
Thank you.